What is going on, everybody? My name is Joe Wagner. Welcome back to the Sports Outlet Show. I'm alongside my two hosts, Brent Allegra and Braden Wilkins. Braden, can you tell me what we're doing on the show today?
I'm sure most of you know that are watching. Tomorrow is the NFL draft. And if you've been fans for a while, you know last year we did a little mock draft the night before the draft, and we're here to do the same thing again today.
Here to do the same thing again today. Now that right there is interesting. Brent, how are we doing, brother? How are we doing?
I'm doing well. I'm absolutely pumped for the draft. As a Giants fan, not a lot to look forward to during the actual season. So you got to gear up for the NFL offseason, and we can be the top of something during the offseason, and that's the draft. We're always at the top. Panthers, they were at the top last year. Not so lucky this year, but top of the second.
Hey, top of the second. It's great to be number one at something, and sometimes it's okay to be in the second round, but who knows we got a brand new head coach, brand new GM. It can only go up, right? I mean, right? Someone please say right.
I think it will. It's hard to be worse than the worst. So at least you got that.
That's very true. That's very true. Solid 2-15 record, but we're here to do 32 straight picks. But guys, 32 divided by 3 doesn't make sense to me. It's like 10, isn't it like 10.33 repeating or something? Like that doesn't work out. We want to be fair here. So obviously our boy Chris Naylor in Denver, Colorado with the Denver Broncos. Sick uniforms, by the way. Little drop there. Go check out their Twitter. But today we have a special friend of mine here from Norman, Oklahoma, from Phoenix, Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Brett Farrar. How we doing, Brett?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. You live like 10 minutes down the road from me.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. We're making it happen.
That's crazy. Well, Brett meet Brent. They met pre-show a little bit here, and then Brett and Braden, you guys already know each other from 2 a.m. Riverwind nights. So those are always great.
Good times for sure.
Those are great. We have 3 BRs in here: Brent, Barrett, and Braden. I'm changing my name to Bro. All right. Well, guys, it's going to be straight through 32 straight picks. You guys all, or at least I would hope, have my phone number. You're going to be shooting me texts throughout the draft. We'll go pick by pick here, guys. I'm super excited, but I don't see a reason to delay the inevitable. I don't see a reason to not just start right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the words you've been waiting to hear, not from Roger Goodell, is the 2024 NFL Draft is officially open, and the Chicago Bears are a pick traded from the Carolina Panthers are officially going to be on the clock here, boys. As we're going through here, you guys just go ahead. Tell me what you're seeing. Tell me what you're feeling. Obviously, I will be taking the Chicago Bears for the entire day. Let's go ahead and switch the screens over here. Chicago Bears on the clock. Going to get us started here, boys. Go ahead and talk about the Bears, whatever you want to, while I get locked in here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty fair assessment that they will be taking Caleb Williams, number 1 overall. I mean, they've pretty much come out and said it at this point, so it's pretty obvious what they're going to be doing with this pick.
Yeah, I'm hoping they don't take the entire 10 minutes like a certain team did last year just to take the one that everyone knew they were going to take. Hopefully they take about as long as Joe's going to take to make this pick.
I think it's exciting for the Bears to come in. They loaded up on the offseason and are really going to turn it around from having the number 1 overall pick with loading up with Keenan Allen. So it should be a fun season for the Bears. That division, I mean, the division's kind of turning on its head. The Lions are up at the top this year. It used to be always the Packers, and now it's going to be exciting to see what the Vikings do, what the Bears do, and who's really going to take that division away. So.
Yeah, little insight here from Chicago. We don't need these full 2 minutes here, so we'll not waste anybody's time as we go ahead and roll through. With the number 1 overall pick of the Chicago Bears traded from the Carolina Panthers, the Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams, quarterback from USC. With that, we'll go ahead and start talking and going through. But the number 2 Washington Commanders, Braden, are on the clock here. Go ahead and get us started there. Little insight from that pick. I mean, he's the Bo Callahan of the sport right now. We'll see what Caleb Williams, excellent arm talent. a ton of strength, can throw the ball to Sketch, even though he's got a hamstring injury now from it. So if an NFL wide receiver can keep up with those passes, I think the Bears are in pretty good shape here, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I really like their moves. Honestly, and I think a lot of fans might think this as well, but I really feel like the Bears could jump into a playoff spot for next year. Just looking from the outside in, I really like a lot of the moves. Brett already touched on the Keenan Allen move. I think that's huge. I think they really improved down the stretch last year. And if they get consistent quarterback play, I really, really think that they have a good shot of making the playoffs.
I love it. Well, guys, I do have note here that the Washington Commanders pick is in, but go ahead, Brett.
I was going to say, I totally forgot they even had DeAndre Swift coming into town. So that should be even fun to see how do they utilize the run game, but also the pass game when Caleb Williams comes to town. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, we have the pick in, guys, and let's go ahead and get that reset. Braden, will you go ahead and let me know what we got going on here?
Yeah, this might come as a little bit of a shock because the consensus is shifting the other way at the moment, but I have the Commanders taking quarterback Drake May out of UNC. There's a couple of reasons for that if we want to get the next big role, and I'll explain why I think this is what they're going to do. So the Commanders, they feel like they were so close with Sam Howell, that is a former UNC quarterback. They got tons of yards out of him in that system. They just think that he was not their guy and they need to move on, which rightfully so. Drake May, I think, is a better prospect than Sam Howell even was. He's got a strong arm. He doesn't turn the ball over too much. He likes the big play, which I think will fit with this new Commanders offense. I think that Drake May is a little bit more solid of a starter coming in than Jaden Daniels will be. So they're going to go with the guy that is more pro ready right now, and just hope that he can take them in a good direction going forward.
Braden, I absolutely love it. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Drake May. I think he's honestly, in my opinion, was the Heisman front runner before last year started. You guys heard that as one of my takes. It's hard to do that at UNC. But I mean, he didn't have the type of caliber players that Jaden Daniels was playing with, that Caleb Williams is playing with. Absolutely. I agree with this pick. I think he fits the system well. They're in Washington. I'm excited to see what the Patriots do here, Braden. But a little bit of shocking news. We have our first trade of the day actually occurring. Seems like the New England Patriots have traded back. I'm getting that team up here on the clock right now. But we're literally, Braden, calling to New York because the New York Giants are on the clock.
Ooh, okay.
Brett, as the Patriots guy, give me a little insight as we reset this clock for the Giants. Oh, in the background.
The Giants, like we said, they're ready to move on from Daniel Jones. He's been banged up in his career, and this is their time to make their jump, make their move, and develop a young quarterback and get them ready to go. And the Patriots have a lot of different areas that they need to improve on. And so they want to drop back and get settled in before they take their quarterback of the future.
Wow. Absolutely. Wow. Do we have a trade package combined here? What are we giving up here?
Yeah, I can announce it. And as a Giants fan, I'm actually very comfortable making this trade, as well as, honestly, I would even throw in more to get the quarterback that I think could really change the franchise. It's going to be the second rounder this year, number 47, as well as obviously the 6th pick. And then the second rounder next year in the following draft. I would even be willing to move the second rounder from next year to a first rounder. That's how much conviction I have in a few of these guys, actually, to make a huge jump for the Giants.
Wow. Well, the pick is in, and while you have the floor there, Brett, go ahead and give me the pick here.
Yeah, with the 3rd pick, the Giants will be selecting quarterback Jaden Daniels. This comes as a bit of a shock to me because, honestly, I thought Braden was going to go a different direction with the 2nd pick. I thought he was going to take Jaden Daniels. But I have Jaden Daniels and Drake May ranked very similarly. I think they're going to be really, really great players at the next level, and I'd be stoked with this pick if I was the Giants.
Wow. Well, an excellent pick there. Obviously, a switch from 3 to 6 there, and we're going to head over to Arizona. Brett, you are on the clock once again here. The floor is yours.
Of course, of course. As an Arizona Cardinals fan myself, this draft is going to mean a lot to us to turn us around. We got a lot of areas we need to improve, but kind of trusting in the process, what Jonathan Gannon's got going for us, kind of flipped a lot during the offseason and saw a bunch of potential towards the end of the season. So I think the only way is up for the Arizona Cardinals now.
Awesome. Anybody got anything to touch on with the Cardinals as we go ahead and continue on while the pick is coming in?
I mean, we could talk about it more when the pick is in, but I think the Cardinals are going to be getting the best player overall in the entire draft.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. They also have multiple picks, which is great for them. They can get a lot of talent here in the first round if they select wisely.
Yeah,
of course. Going off your point and having additional picks, it's very interesting where they ended up being in towards the late first round. They were supposed to have a mid first round pick, and the Texans decided to have a phenomenal run in the playoffs and really change what that pick is going to turn into. So, I mean, like I said, the Cardinals have a lot of areas they need to address and could have had some better talent, but there's still a lot of potential with how deep this first round class is going to be.
Well, it looks like the pick is in here, Brett, if you want to go ahead and announce it.
Of course. With the 4th overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals are going to select Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver out of Ohio State. I think
that's a big pick.
Yeah, that's a big pick. Like Brent said, he's the top player, I think, for his talent that he brings to the table. And he's pairing up with his boy that we got last year, Ohio State, Paris Johnson Jr. He's been vouching for Marvin Harrison to come out to the Valley ever since he made it out there himself. So it should be fun season, seeing what we get to do. Offloaded Marquise Brown. And so it's kind of Marvin Harrison Jr.'s team to develop and build that connection with Kyler Murray. Trade.
We have another trade. This one was actually 2 days ago when the teams were created and picks went in. I myself representing the Los Angeles Chargers, we have traded back and given our pick to the Minnesota Vikings. Brett, if you want to touch a little more on that while you're on the clock here.
Yeah, I think the Vikings are going to be huge in the trade-up game, just like the Giants. They need a quarterback. Their current starter is Sam Darnold.
Same player.
About as good.
Former Vikings quarterback. But yeah, I don't think they can rock into the season with Sam Darnold as the starter. They're going to be gunning hard for a guy that's getting a lot of hotness around the league right now. And if Joe's fine with it, I mean, I'm ready to announce the pick.
Oh, as soon as you send it to me, I'm ready.
All right.
I'll say the pick is in then already. Yeah, we're huge fans of this one. Definitely with trading back, getting that number 11 pick from the Vikings first of all, but also taking their second first round pick as well, number 22. So we're happy to get both of those, and super excited about trading back. Looking at Harbaugh and his future here and seeing what we can get done in year one. But I will go ahead and get this up here for you. And we have the pick officially in. And will you go ahead and show me the money, as Jerry Maguire would say?
Yeah, so with the 5th overall pick in the NFL draft, Vikings select quarterback J.J. McCarthy. We were talking about it a little before the podcast. I personally don't love this pick, but I think this is what the Vikings are going to try to do. They're going to try to either move up for A, Drake May, or B, J.J. McCarthy. And J.J. has been getting a lot of hate recently, and rightfully so. I don't think he's worthy of a top 10 pick, but I do think he is worthy of a first-round selection. It's just that with the Raiders, the Broncos breathing down their necks, maybe looking to trade up as well, you kind of had to be aggressive to get your guy. So I think this is what the Vikings are going to do tomorrow night.
Excellent. Well, via trade earlier at the number 6 pick on the clock again is the New England Patriots. So we'll see what they have to say here. But yeah, I think it's a difficult move for me personally. I'm not a fan of J.J. McCarthy myself, not throwing for 3,000 yards in a single one of his seasons. So if you're a fantasy football fan or a stat fan, definitely look at picking whatever team J.J. McCarthy is on. Look at picking their running back because he's good at handing the ball off. But
hey, Jim Harbaugh says he's the best Michigan quarterback of all time.
Tom Brady, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's JJ apparently. And honestly,
Super
if they have so much conviction, maybe they should just trade Herbert for him.
There you go.
It's true.
There's been some buzz, not gonna lie. I don't think it's true. I think it's smoke, but
There's no way that'll happen, but it would be funny.
It would be insane. I mean, they already demolished the entire roster.
I saw a mock trade today that sent Justin Herbert to the Vikings and offloaded all their picks and stuff. I thought it was very interesting. Make Justin Jefferson happy.
We got another pick in already, boys. Wow. We are cooking with lightning here. At number 6, the New England Patriots. Brett, what do you have for me?
The 6th overall pick, the New England Patriots are going to select Malik Neighbors, wide receiver out of LSU.
It's a good pick.
I like it.
They decided to drop back and not choose their quarterback just yet with the guys that were up there at the time. And so this is their chance to get the top elite talent while they're still on the board for wide receiver. They haven't had a consistent guy in a while. Juju's been banged up with injuries. They always have just kind of mid-tier running backs. So I think this is – or not running backs, wide receivers. So I think this is their chance to kind of capitalize on the talent that's there and really develop it for their new head coach.
Yeah, in terms of speed and route running ability, I do think Malik Neighbors is the top of that conversation. Yes, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the better complete wide receiver in terms of 50-50 balls, stuff like that. But Malik Neighbors is a great option and would have went as the number 1 receiver in last year's draft and honestly probably the year before as well. So you can't go wrong with that pick, in my opinion.
I absolutely. You guys are flying with picks in. People know what they want this year. I love it. I'm a big fan. Brent, what do you think Tennessee's going with here?
I honestly don't know. I want to say I feel like they could go receiver, but maybe also on the defensive side of the ball as well. So we'll have to see.
I think it's absolutely wild to me to think about the fact that there might not be a single defensive player taken in the top 10.
Yeah.
I'm curious how far that goes back of how many offensive guys, top 10, have made it their way out.
I honestly don't know, but it's definitely an interesting stat to take a peek at. Braden, owner of the Tennessee Titans, tell me about some talks that were happening earlier today, and sounds like a deal didn't get done with another team. What happened there?
Yeah, there's. I feel like the Titans are a great trade candidate. There's a lot going on. That's if the 4 top quarterbacks on the board don't go in the top 7. They could be in a great spot to trade down to a quarterback needy team like the Broncos or the Raiders. Or the Vikings even. But yeah, that doesn't happen here. 4 quarterbacks go off the board extremely early. And I've seen this guy go so often to the Titans. If they stick at 7, it's going to be the tackle out of Notre Dame, Joe Alt. I think that makes sense for them. They shore up that offensive line, and I think he's one of the best players available on the board at this point. So they're just going to stick and take the guy that can help their offense out, maybe help Tony Pollard come back to his former glory, and protect Will Levis.
What a pick. I agree. Great pick.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and Go ahead, Brent. Brett.
I felt like what was loaded at that position, the wide receiver, as it's starting to slim down. The Titans are stacked, and the tackle made the best decision for them is what they need to set up Will Levis for success. But just with the talent they put around him for wide receiver, with Ridley now on the team, Hopkins and Traylon Burks coming back, so
they definitely need some help as well on that offensive line. Obviously, Derrick Henry's not going to be plowing through people anymore, so a little less experience back in the backfield, possibly somebody they even draft or help out for next year. But I think that's a great safe pick for Will Levis to try and keep the Mayo man from getting crushed.
Yeah.
The Atlanta Falcons at number 8 like every single year. Am I crazy, or are they like right there every single year? I think we know who has the Falcons, and the pick is in. Brent, what do we have?
The pick is in. The Falcons will be thrilled with this selection. It's going to be Rome Odunze, wide receiver out of Washington. We've went over it, but this is the deepest wide receiver class I think I've seen in a long time. And Rome Odunze is in that first tier with Marvin Harrison and with Malik Neighbors. Y'all know how much I loved watching Washington last year, and that Rome Odunze was a huge part of it. He's a big threat, and I think with the new Kirk Cousins-led Falcons offense, I think they could be buzzing. So, Rome Odunze.
I think that's a great pick. I think their offense would be so fly-high after that with Drake London. They just got Darnell Mooney. Kyle Pitts looking to rise from the ashes. I think that's going to be crazy.
And Bijan.
Yeah.
He
Didn't
get utilized very good last year.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he gets some more carries this year.
It's okay. Arthur Smith is gone.
It'll be interesting with that offense and bringing in a defensive style head coach.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they make do. I mean, they got Rondell Moore, so they got the speedy effect. And now if they go here with the Dunze, they got 2 big bulky guys with Drake London, and it'll be interesting to see what their offense looks like for sure.
Mm-hmm. Joe's doing some draft analysis.
Trying to get
he definitely wanted to load up Caleb Williams with some more receiver help.
Scrambling.
He's scrambling.
I wouldn't say I'm scrambling, but I would admit that I would have loved the flight duo to get to land in Chicago together. But I think we got something we want. I will leave the line open for 45 seconds, though.
I think I'm good with my teams, sir.
Right.
There it is.
Definitely an interesting spot here for us as the Chicago Bears at 9 after picking up Caleb Williams. I mean, original pick. This is a place where I think they have a lot of room to do what they want. I also see this as a place where the Chicago Bears could pull a Houston Texans, where if they wanted to jump into a 2, 3, 4, 5, especially with people like the Patriots, the Cardinals, and the Chargers could all be taking calls especially for something great. We're going to sit tight here, stay put. We're going to pick a safety option, someone that's really going to help us on the defensive side of the ball. Taking our first defensive guy, we're going to take Dallas Turner, the edge out of Alabama. I think that's a safe option for us. I definitely misspelled his name, but let me fix that for you.
Nah.
We work under quick pressure here at the draft, all right? But that's definitely a pick that I love. I'm a huge fan of it. Go ahead, guys, as I'm going to go ahead and get the New York Jets on the clock here as soon as I pop them up.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dallas Turner is the best defensive player in this draft. And like we've said, the offensive side of the ball is a lot more stacked, especially at the top of the draft. But Dallas Turner is a game wrecker, and I really think he could do huge things for the Bears. So they get an elite prospect on the offensive side of the ball, elite prospect on the defensive side of the ball. It could be huge for the Bears this season.
Of course, and with them trading with the Commanders last season at the deadline to get Montez Sweat, I think they be the Bears are setting themselves up to have a nasty rushing attack. So that, like I said, like I already talked about, that division's going to be kind of up in the air. It'll be interesting to see what everyone does to really who comes in and takes over that division. So
I think if the Vikings figure it out, that's going to be one of the most competitive divisions in football, especially if they find their guy like off the gates. I think that the NFC North is going to start being a little more nasty. So we'll see what it has, because the NFC East likes to seem to take that every year. Wow, the pick is in, and I'm a fan of it. My New York Jets, what do we got?
Yeah, the New York Jets are going to come in and draft the tight end, Brock Bowers, out of Georgia. We've been talking about him for years. That was some injury concern last year, but I think he's going to be A-okay. He's going to protect Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be another weapon for him. I could also see this as a spot for being a wide receiver for the Jets. They want weapons for Aaron Rodgers. They want to go all in on him in what could be his last year. They have the offensive firepower. They just need a little bit more with Garrett Wilson. They got Breece Hall. They could use a little bit more in there, and I think Brock Bowers is a great option for them.
I think this is the absolute steal of any team's draft. I think unless you have Travis Kelce, I don't even want to throw Mark Andrews into the conversation that much anymore. This position is so dead between the top five. Brock Bowers is going to be an instant fantasy day one starter. If he gets in with a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, if he gets in with a quarterback like Justin Herbert, he's going to be a day one starter. It might get ferocious. It might be gross, because this guy played with Stetson Bennett for most of his career. So watch out. And we're going to put the Chargers on the clock while we keep going over this.
Yeah, the only thing I fear with Brock Bowers, the talent is there. I mean, we saw it in college. He was arguably the best player on Georgia the past couple of years, and that was obviously during some championship runs. The only thing I worry about is the size. I saw a recent picture of him standing next to Gronk, and it's just like polar opposites in terms of the build. So I'm interested to see if he can maybe add some more weight, and if he can hold up at the NFL level. Obviously, the receiving talent is great, but I want to see how he is as a blocker and all that as well.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of packages they throw out with now having Mike Williams. Tyler Conklin can be a little bit bigger body, and Brock Bowers will take over the kind of Kyle Pitts kind of build, the more athletic tight end.
Yeah.
Has more flexibility to kind of do more out there on the field and give Aaron Rodgers more options. Just hope he doesn't tear his Achilles again this year.
Whoa. I am the sole purpose here. Don't.
Center. Oh.
I think he's making a call. Maybe.
Uh-oh.
He's about to run out of time.
We're indeed making a phone call. As we said at the beginning of the podcast, the clock stops if a phone call is shown by a screen being turned off.
Okay.
We got a interesting crop of picks coming up here with the Broncos and Raiders. Those are both quarterback needy teams, although the Broncos just got Zach Wilson. So who knows what's going to happen there.
The answer.
My question is it too early for like a Michael Penix Jr. and a Bo Nix at 12 and 13? I think so. So I don't know what their plan is going to be.
I feel like we could see a situation like last year with Will Levis, where he was like had the potential to be a mid first rounder and then just continue to fall. I feel like that could happen. Like there's not a whole. I'm a fan of Bo Nix. I feel like he's got the talent. He's not like crazy athletic or anything like that way, but I think just like his arm talent, you could see him fall, but you could also see somebody hop in there and take him early. So it'll be interesting to see what those like mid-tier quarterbacks are going to provide. But I'd like to see what Bo Nix can do for sure in the league. Trade. Here we go.
Hey guys, we here with the Los Angeles Chargers. We're deciding to move back once again here. We are trading with the Detroit Lions to come up on the clock. They're going to have their full 2 minutes, and we got the trade package here as soon as that pick is in. Guys, first thoughts and analysis while we get this pick in from the Lions.
Harbaugh's really making an impact on the team and taking over. Hopefully he's getting the guys that he wants to build for that division. I know it's going to be hard to take over with the Chiefs and what they've got. So I feel like he's getting a whole refresh and building the team he wants to.
Detroit Lions were ready to go. I like it.
You know how Dan Campbell feels about his guys.
Oh, yeah.
Lions are an interesting team too. I feel like their picks last year were pretty questionable with
I know.
back when they already had a running back and then they went linebacker and kind of worked out for them. So
Worked out.
In tight end pretty early too, which again, like Sam Laporta honestly wasn't a guy I had a lot of faith in going into the draft, but it worked out big time. Like credit to the Lions because they made the right picks. And I think their like rating after the draft was like a D- or something. So shows how much the analysts know. But
one of our coworkers, he's a Lions fan, and we were just clowning him the whole time when they announced Jack Campbell and Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm like, that's not what they needed, but
and Brian Branch too. I mean, he was amazing as well. So they had an incredible draft last year.
Yeah, they did.
We're actually gonna continue with the oddball picks here. We're trading up and we're getting we think we're getting the best guy here of the draft in his position. We think he's underrated here, but we're actually gonna pick out of Florida State edge Jared Verse. We're a firm believer, in my opinion, he's the best edge in the draft, even more than Dallas Turner. A little bit of training under Dan Campbell makes me feel really good about this guy, and I think this is a Detroit Lions thing to do. We ended up for this pick. I'll go ahead and get the Denver Broncos on the clock as well. For this pick here, guys, we are trading gambling addict Jameson Williams, as well as running back David Montgomery, as well as pick 29 for this number 11 pick in a 7th rounder next year. So we believe we got our guy here. We're super excited to bring David into Los Angeles. But, great trade all around. What do you guys think so far?
That is a crazy package. And a guy that's proven himself. But I guess it'll be interesting to see how the Chargers compete in the running back room with having J.K. Dobbins, who's coming off an injury, and Gus Edwards. I guess they're a fan of those Ravens running backs. But it'll be an interesting room for them to compete with.
Hey, man, it's all about having fun. Oh,
no! Pause the clocks.
Pause the clock. There is absolute chaos in the Sports Outlet showroom. This is crazy.
I think with this move happening, I think that the Broncos aren't ready to take their quarterback if they're moving out. There was a chance.
Guys, any teams looking to trade up?
Funny.
I don't even know the rest of my teams. Hold on.
If not, I'm going to take my guy.
Ooh.
There's complete chaos. Deals are being wheeled, bro. This is ridiculous. This is why you're only supposed to manage one team. Next year, we're getting 32 people on here. I have no interest in trading up to 12. I have a pick coming up, so.
Honestly, at this point, I think the Broncos are going to take their guy.
All right, go ahead and send it in.
We tried our best. But it didn't
Hey,
work.
that's all you can do. I mean, I know Chris Naylor was in there working hard.
Yeah,
We'll see if we can get him next year.
big part of the draft room, I've heard. So he's heavy on the analysis there.
Whew. Talk to me.
Are you ready for it, Joe? You ready for it?
I don't think the world is ready for it.
With the
Let's do
12th
it.
selection, with the 12th selection, maybe a little bit high, but my favorite quarterback from this past year, the Broncos select Michael Penix, quarterback out of Washington.
Good pick.
Honestly, he's been falling a lot on recent draft boards, and I understand why. I think most of it is due to the injury concerns, but he had a fully healthy year last year. The Broncos' current quarterback situation is not good. Jarrett Stidham, Zach Wilson, it's just not doing it for me. I think Michael Penix automatically catapults them into that next level, and I think he could be huge for the Broncos. I really do.
I mean, I personally love the pick. I think if you're going to go out and get your guy, we're showing here in this mock draft, and we're showing possibly later that you just need to go and do it. Especially, we have another trade on the block here at number 13. Trading up for the Las Vegas Raiders is actually going to be the Cincinnati Bengals. Braden, I'll let you go ahead and go through that. On the clock, go ahead, take your time, take your pick. I know there's some chaos, although you probably know which guy you want. I was representing the Las Vegas Raiders. We're deciding to move back to number 18 here. From this, we're giving up our number 13 pick, our second rounder this year, and our second rounder next year in exchange for the number 18 pick, as well as T. Higgins coming to Las Vegas. We'll be signing him out of Cincinnati, as we saw more information today. He doesn't want to be there. I think T. Higgins, this is probably the most realistic thing we'll see tomorrow is T. Higgins wearing another uniform.
Yeah, and that was my thought process as well. T. Higgins has been unhappy all offseason. He mentioned earlier in the offseason that he expects to play there, but he also came out with Trey Hendrickson and officially requested a trade again today. So I think this should be something that people expect is T. Higgins not on the Bengals. And I think that's good for the Bengals moving on from him. And then trading up here and potentially getting one of their guys. So I think that'll be great for them, and it's great for T. Higgins and great for the Raiders, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say as well. With Trey Hendrickson requesting a trade as well, I could totally see that being a part of a package as well. He's really good. So we'll have to see what sort of trades go down on draft night tomorrow night. I'm excited for it. So
Trey was actually a part of the original deal. Las Vegas was not willing to not have a pick in the first round, so we actually took his name out of it.
Okay.
So there
that'd
we
be a scary duo. Crosby and Trey Hendrickson. That'd be scary.
Braden, you're up.
Yeah, okay. So the Bengals move up. They saw Jared Verse and Dallas Turner go within 3 picks, and they really, really like Laiatu Latu out of UCLA. He's an edge as well. He has been insane. He's been gaining a lot of traction, moving up draft boards. So I think this is something that they're going to want, and it's something that they're going to enjoy if they intend on replacing Trey Hendrickson as well.
First of all, great pronunciation on the name there. There are a couple people in this draft that are going to give Roger Goodell some issues. We will put the New Orleans Saints here at number 14 of 32 on the clock. Some absolute chaos has been going on, so Braden's going to have to go back to the books here with the Saints. But looking at the draft overview so far, boys, what are we thinking? A lot of quarterbacks gone. Honestly, all of the first rounders, in my opinion. Maybe Bo Nix can throw his name in there as well. But what a start!
And I do think that a lot of quarterbacks could go round 1 tomorrow night. Another thing we got to keep in mind is a lot of teams want to exercise that fifth-year option on these quarterbacks, and you can only do that if you draft them in the first round. So I could see teams who maybe have a second-round pick even trading back up into the end of the first just to make sure they grab their quarterback in the first round.
Some great analysis.
It's something I thought a lot about.
I'm going to be honest, I don't even think I knew that.
It is true. You can only use a fifth-year option on a first-round pick, and that goes for any position.
So you're telling me they can't use it on Brock Purdy?
They cannot.
Oh, that's a shame.
I feel like that's
franchise tag.
That's the way the NFL is going with the quarterback. You're either paying them a lot of money, like a Patrick Mahomes, or you're just getting a new rookie, and hopefully they turn into that Patrick Mahomes type prospect. Like you don't see as many just like mid-tier guys that are deserving of contracts anymore. Like Daniel Jones.
Braden,
fall off.
Braden, we got the pick in again here. What do we got for the Saints?
Yeah, I'm setting myself up back-to-back with the tough names. This is Talise Fuaga, offensive tackle out of Oregon State. He's been an absolute beast. He has overtaken Olu Fashanu as the consensus number 2 of offensive tackle in this class. I think rightfully so. He's been absolutely amazing. And I think this is a great chance for the Saints to shore up their offensive line. They are potentially in position to take a quarterback, but I think this isn't the year for them. They're going to wait until next year or grab some guy in the late rounds like a Spencer Rattler or something. But I think shoring up that offensive line will be huge for guys like Alvin Kamara and protecting old Derek Carr while he's trying to find Chris Olave. They could be looking at defense as well. They need help on both of the lines, offensive line and defensive line, but they're going to go with Fuaga here.
I like it. We'll go ahead and put the Colts on the clock there. Braden will take a seat from pronunciation class. What a record performance on the Sports Outlet Show. We've said some hard names before. Indianapolis Colts. I think Brett coming back here. Let's see if he's wheeling and dealing, or if we're gonna have a cool down period, because there was some chaos there for about 15 minutes.
There definitely was some potential for some offers out there. I know the Cardinals were, like I said earlier, had some potential to address one of their other needs on defense, but we saw those 2 edge guys kind of start taking off, Dallas Turner and Jared Verse. So I know that there's, I think the Colts have some needs too to grow. I mean, I think they kind of proved themselves last year when with the team that they put out there, and Shane Steichen in his first year. I feel like a lot of people weren't expecting that. So they have some potential to grow this year too.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for the Colts this year, especially with Anthony Richardson hopefully getting a full year this season as his first full season as a pro. I'm really excited to see what he does, because he definitely showed flashes before he got injured last year.
Oh, yeah. The pick is in. Braden, who do you think it is?
Let's take a look here. I could see this being a spot where the first corner goes off the board. I could see Tyrion Arnold from Alabama going right here.
Brett, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, of course. Well, you hit it right on the nail. With the 15th overall pick, the Indianapolis Colts select Tyrion Arnold, corner out of Alabama. Alabama has put some great talent out there on the corner coming out this year. Last year we saw it really stacked in the position, and cornerbacks taken off early in the draft. like Devin Witherspoon. And so it'll be a little interesting where the first corner goes off the board, whether it's mid first round or it even drops into the 20s. So, but I think the Colts definitely have a need there. They're with Blackman in the secondary. They have another need that they need to address on the corner position. So I think this is the best corner, kind of debatable, but I think with his proven record at Alabama, he's got a way to make an impact on this Colts team.
I would agree. That's a great pick. I mean, first of all, Braden with the snipe of the century, just absolutely cooking on the Sports Outlet Show today. We have the Seattle Seahawks here on the clock for Brent. He's in the kitchen right now. He's cooking, so we'll see what comes from that. Seattle Seahawks, team you see a lot on a great movie you guys should all go watch tomorrow. It's called Draft Day. Kevin Costner stars in it. I mean, this guy's just trying to eat his pancakes. I think there's some sort of other word in there, but he's just trying to eat his pancakes. Big fan of the movie. Watch it every year, but just thought I'd shout that out as it's a tradition here at the Sports Outlet Show for us to watch it every year, even all the way from Oklahoma to Steven City. So we have the pick in again. I guess he did not have time for his pancakes. And with this, Brent, take us to the official halfway point of this podcast.
Yeah, so with the 16th pick, the Seahawks select offensive guard Troy Fautanu out of Washington. My third Washington pick in a row. So you guys could see how much I love my Huskies. But Troy Fautanu, amazing offensive guard last year, extremely good at picking up the pass rush. Has a high football IQ, staple of that Washington offense. He's not so great in the run game, so he might need to polish that at the pro level, but he is the best offensive guard, in my opinion, of the entire draft.
I don't know if I can argue with that. Any other words, boys? We have the Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock here. Myself is currently going. Unfortunately, the Indianapolis Colts actually took the guy we were looking for, but definitely looking around here.
With zero interest or insight on what's going on in Joe's head, I think there's still a lot of talented wide receivers on the board that are projected to go first round that I can see the Jaguars taking here. They've got Gabe Davis, they have Christian Kirk. Other than that, they don't really have a true alpha wide receiver one. Christian Kirk can be that at times, but it would be cool to see a third option to shore up this team to help out Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, well, we just got the pick in, guys. Another person kind of like Jared Verse earlier with the Lions getting traded up for that. A name that's just going through the gutters for whatever reason. In my opinion, could be the best corner in the draft as well as at Alabama. I'm going with Kool-Aid McKinstry for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They haven't had a presence since Jalen Ramsey, as well as a little bit of C.J. Henderson in there before he fell off the face of the earth. Braden, I liked your take on wide receivers. We're comfortable with Christian Kirk leading that offense. I don't know. I think we need to ramp up that defense a little bit. I think things are going well in Jacksonville. And other than that, I like this pick. And we'll go ahead and you guys talk about Kool-Aid, the coolest name in college football, as we finally have the Las Vegas Raiders getting on the clock here.
Yeah, I love that pick. Both of those Alabama corners have been extremely solid throughout their careers. Potentially the 1 and 2 corners in this class. This is also a pretty deep corner class, at least in terms of first round talent. And now the Raiders have traded down. Is it finally time for a little guy out of Oregon and Auburn? He's been everywhere. Is it time for Bo Nix? Uh-oh. Again?
Raiders. Raider Nation, watch out.
Okay. I like it. Get in the draft capital if you think it's too early to get your quarterback. And
honestly, I don't think I think Raiders are one of those teams that don't need to push the quarterback position like some of those other teams. I think Aiden O'Connell did honestly a pretty good job last year in his rookie season, and I wouldn't mind seeing him as a starter once again. I don't think teams should push for a guy just because. I think they need to have a conviction on a starter if they're going to select them.
Yeah, and I feel like we saw a lot of success with, I know Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, but like putting in a quarterback that maybe doesn't have the full set yet, and they learn under a pro for a year and really figure it out. I think maybe this is where the Raiders. I know Aiden O'Connell's pretty young, but they have a chance to kind of give a younger guy instead of just throwing them straight into it. They got Gardner Minshew there, can really teach him some toughness, and develop that young kid, whoever and whenever they decide to make that selection.
Yeah, and I was going to say that too. I really liked the Gardner Minshew addition. I think he's a great backup in this league.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously has proved himself time and time again that he can hang with the best of them. Almost put the Colts in a playoff spot last year.
Yeah.
So I really like Gardner.
I think he's got the potential to even take over that starting job. And I know Aiden O'Connell, maybe just because he was still young and trying to figure it out. But I think Gardner Minshew, like we said, has proven himself to bring that talent to the NFL, and whether he's coming off the bench or going to be a starting role. So it'll be interesting to see what they look like going out for that first game.
One thing I did want to ask you, since you're a Cardinals fan, do you think the Cardinals are willing to trade out of that 4 spot? Because I really do not think whatsoever that they will, especially since they have that late first round as well.
I don't think so anymore. I think there was a potential, but now with I think they really settled on Marvin Harrison Jr. I know that I think they kind of threw a smokescreen when they were doing pro days and stuff like that, and kind of throwing out Malik Neighbors' name, and had some potential to trade down. But I think the connection already with Paris Johnson Jr. And Marvin Harrison just has the skill set, 50-50 balls. I think we need somebody. Kyler needs somebody like we had with D-Hop. So I don't see us trading out from the 4 spot now. There was a chance at a little bit that I was convinced, but not anymore.
Hey guys, the Las Vegas Raiders just got off the phone call. We have gotten a deal done with the Cleveland Browns, who are trading into the first round, who did not have a selection. We are going to be taking from them their 2nd and 3rd round pick this year, as well as their 1st rounder next year, as well as their 1st rounder the year after that, as well as Nyheim Hines in exchange for our number 18 overall pick, as well as we'll be shipping Davante Adams to Cleveland.
Oh, I was about to say, what is going on? Like, that is the most lopsided trade ever. You can't just put Davante Adams at the end.
We believe Davante does not want to be in Vegas. The quarterback play has been inconsistent. We're going to send him over to Cleveland, get some draft picks, trade back, sit back into the 2nd round, and look to get our guy there in the 2nd and 3rd on day 2.
Davante Adams and Jerry Jeudy tearing it up on the Browns.
Wow.
Isn't Amari Cooper still there?
Yes, that is a great trio.
That's crazy.
We were looking at talking to the Packers about that trade, but after Vegas sees those couple go, I think this is a move. Obviously, maybe not giving up their star wide receiver, but talking about getting 4 top 3 round picks and a punt returner, Nyheim Hines. I mean, it's a small price to pay.
That's like throwing in Putney.
It is. That's exactly why I did it. That's so funny. But if you were legitimate, like, I know how like silly it sounds, like the trade itself looks really good on paper though. If Cleveland did want to make that jump and they did want to get a guy like Davante Adams has noticeably said he's not happy in Vegas so many times. So it could be a huge move that somebody's looking to make if Vegas even wants to pursue pushing into further. I don't think they give up their 1st round pick this year for 2 firsts next year, but you never know. They could look at the future instead.
How long is Cleveland without a first round pick from that Deshaun Watson deal?
I think this was the last year of it, wasn't it?
Sure. I don't know off the top of my head.
Brent, are you the Browns?
No, Braden, you accidentally sent it to
Oh,
me. I was forwarding it to Jeff.
I was like, did I just wheel and deal with the wrong guy? And he just said, why not?
It's all part of the plan.
That is hilarious. This is why I could never be an NFL GM, because I would make crazy trades like this and get thrown out immediately.
Yeah.
All right, Braden, what's the pick?
All right, we saw those two Alabama corners go off the board, and the Browns wanted to get in there and get their guy, Quinion Mitchell, out of Toledo. He's been touted as one of the best quarterbacks in this class as well. The only issue is he plays at Toledo, so you're not sure if he can stack up against NFL talent. But he's been absolutely locked down. The Browns, they don't need him to start right away. They have Greg Newsome, and they have Denzel Ward. Sorry, his name was eluding me for a second. So that he's not a guy that you need to start right away. He can come and develop behind Denzel Ward, who is absolutely great. And, this is a guy that they see as one of the best players available on the board, so they trade up and they go get him. And, of course, adding Devontae Adams doesn't hurt.
Now, I was going to say, I kind of felt like Quinion Mitchell was starting to slide. I know a lot of people have him even ranked ahead of Terry and Arnold. So I think that is a huge value selection there.
Could you just imagine, if people watch this podcast and see that trade, they're going to think we're crazy. Could you imagine if it happened tomorrow?
That would be insane.
Viral.
I think I'd throw up.
We'll have to post the receipts. We had it first.
We did have it first.
That comes after their first trade down too.
9:15 Central Standard Time. All right, I got a new draft executive in here today. Ugh.
There he is.
Here's Bandit, everybody. Welcome to the Sports Outlet Show. I think he's ready for bed, but he'll be making the pick for whatever my next team is.
It's like Belichick during the COVID year.
It is like I don't think he would sit up. I don't think he would sit up on this chair.
So now that the Raiders don't have a first-round pick, Brent, you were saying earlier they don't have their quarterback. They do have Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, and they just acquired T. Higgins and a ton of draft capital.
What a squad.
It quite literally could be the biggest move they could possibly make.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think T. Higgins on a squad where he's the number one, I think is going to make him happy.
Do you see why that trade makes sense too? They got their guy in T. Higgins. Like they don't need another wide receiver.
There you go.
T. Higgins has made it notable that he wants to be the number one guy. Well, the pick is also in here for the Rams. Let me go ahead and get that up here. I believe it was Brent who was sending. Are you sure that you didn't mean to send that to me, Braden? Is this a forward?
I'm positive.
Okay. Just check. You can never be too sure. All right, let's do it.
Okay. In over 7 years, this is the Rams' first round pick in over 7 years since they selected Jared Goff. With the 19th overall pick, the Los Angeles Rams are going to select Byron Murphy, defensive lineman out of Texas. I think with the retirement of Aaron Donald, they really have a hole in their defense that they need to capitalize on. And Byron Murphy really proved himself at Texas, being a physical guy for their line. And so I think this is the pick that makes the most sense for him here.
I absolutely agree. I think it's a great pick.
I love it. I absolutely love it too.
So we'll see.
Oh my word. We have Brett and Brent.
What a duo.
What's happening? Hey, Braden. They saw that Devontae Adams stuff and said they were going to cook something of their own.
Gosh.
Oh my!
See, we're getting a little
goodness.
outlandish here, but it's fun. It's fun.
Dude, I never said it was going to be serious. I never once said that. I just said we were
And
going to do
people are
30.
going. The actual draft picks are going where they're supposed to go.
That's true. We never said what team they would be on. just go through the picks. That's what matters. Here, let me. Oh, they're back. They're back. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Is this team that's trading up also keeping their first round pick?
Yes, sir.
This is Braden. Boom.
Oh no! Oh no!
Do we
I'm not
want to know
happy.
the deal? Do we want to know the deal?
Let's know the deal.
The 49ers have sent Brandon Ayuk to the Pittsburgh Steelers straight up for pick 20.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
It does.
It makes a lot of sense.
AJ Brown type trade.
Yeah.
Brett sent me this trade a little bit earlier today, and I thought it really worked out for both sides. I could honestly see this happening on draft
Yeah,
night.
this is
I'm not even
realistic. This is realistic.
You're telling me the Devontae Adams one wasn't? This is
that's a great trade.
ridiculous.
I like that a lot. So who did the 49ers want to come up and get while retaining their other pick? I like it. Also, I hate it as an NFC contender.
I don't know. I'm curious. They've got time though. Let me get my other executive. Ugh. All right, this is Penny. We have another draft executive. Ready to wheel and deal.
Ready to wheel and deal.
She's ready to go. She's ready to make a pick. We don't go for 2 more picks or 3 more. We have the Chargers. Should I say the thing they're typically saying? If the pick doesn't come in the time, the people behind them could come up and steal the draft pick that the 49ers traded up for.
I think that has happened once too.
Mm-hmm.
It happened. I think it happened to the Ravens most recently. Oh my goodness! At the buzzer.
Pick is in.
I'm the 49ers would come away looking like bandits if this happened. So I hope it does.
No.
Did I misspell his name or did you?
I might have.
Okay. I think it's
Yeah, I did. I definitely did.
cool. All right, Brett, go ahead.
Okay, with the 20th overall pick, the San Francisco 49ers select Adonai Mitchell, wide receiver out of Texas. I think
That's a great pick.
I think this is their chance to take the first Texas receiver. Texas will have two picks go back to back of their players in the first round. I think Adonai Mitchell has proven himself, and between the 2 of the Texas receivers, I think this is the favorite to go, and they get their replacement of Ayuk already on a rookie contract. So I'm excited to see what the 49ers do, and they still keep their other first round picks, so they'll be able to address their other need in the first round as well.
Yeah. Hey, if you don't want to pay your talent, this is a way around it. A lot of teams do this, and I think it makes sense for both sides. So
Absolutely.
I can definitely see this happening.
I don't know if
think
George
that this
would be very happy about it, but
I think that the Steelers in this scenario, if we think Mitchell's going to be the guy he is, would end up possibly getting fleeced. But I mean, I think it makes sense for the time being.
Mm-hmm. It's just crazy how stacked the wide receiver class is this whole draft. Uh-oh. Got another deal coming along.
He's wheeling and dealing.
Joe doesn't feel like making any selections tonight. I'm just going to trade everything out. Okay, he's back.
That one was actually just looking at draft stuff.
I was gonna say that was fast, and I didn't see any of us check our phones. So
Well, you can trade with yourself still.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I was going to do that earlier, but the player I wanted got selected. I think we've seen a drop of Fashanu, the tackle out of Penn State. I know earlier on, before all the pro days and all that kind of stuff, I think he was the favorite, and then Joe Alt just really made his way up to the top. I think they were kind of battling 1 and 2, and Fashanu is falling off for sure. So I think he's definitely still a first-round talent, but Joe Alt definitely proved himself, and I think he's going to go first, and who knows how far he's going to drop down.
Yeah.
Do I have a pick from the Dolphins?
Oh, my.
I think you're the Dolphins, Joe.
You're the Dolphins.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Oh, that's crazy. The Eagles are moving up.
I'm actually going to allow it. I didn't know.
No.
Nah, I'm just kidding. All right, thanks, babe. I'm sitting here the whole time, like, turning my camera off to look at stuff, and then I have all my things circled on this paper because of how many trades have happened, and I didn't circle the Dolphins. That's actually hilarious. All right.
I had a feeling that was going to happen all these ones.
Thanks, boys. I appreciate it.
Be interesting to see what the Dolphins do here. They're set on receivers, so.
Right. I knew who I had them taking here to begin with. Sorry for wasting everybody's time, but with the number 21 Miami Dolphins, they're going to take the offensive tackle out of Alabama, J.C. Latham. I think this is a safe pick for them, helping on the outside with their running back duo. I think it's safe for them to pick here. I don't think they go anywhere too crazy. They're good at wide receiver. They're good at running back. They're good at quarterback. Maybe could make a case for them to do something on the defensive end, but I think this is a safe pick to definitely help Tua turn the ball over. And the Dirty Birds are on the clock.
Oh no.
I think this is a pretty obvious pick. I feel like Cooper DeJean is going to be their guy here. I know they got back Gardner Johnson to help out in the secondary, but I think this is their chance to, like we said, we got a trade. Never mind. Maybe Cooper DeJean still goes. Somebody's got their eyes on him, I guess. Maybe not.
This one will go quick. The recipient is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Eagles are going to receive the number 26 pick and a third, and the Buccaneers are going to receive number 22. And Joe, the pick is in if you want me to just go ahead and throw it out there.
I'm ready for you, man.
We mentioned Penn State earlier, but this is actually not going to be Olu Fashanu. This is going to be his teammate, Edge Chop Robinson, also out of Penn State. I think this makes a lot of sense for the Bucs. They like him. They like him a lot, and I think he fits with the defensive scheme they're building up there.
What is happening? I know for a fact it's my pick, but I can't start the clock until I see what's going on here. Oh my goodness. Sure, for the culture.
For the culture.
Oh my goodness.
You want to announce
Dude.
it, Joe?
Yeah,
Obviously, you get the first as well.
The Well, okay, I would hope so.
Yeah.
We have received a trade call in here from NFC East opponent Dallas Cowboys for our pick. The Dallas Cowboys are the 24th overall pick. We're going to move back as well as receive a third-round pick from them this year. Dallas is on the clock. I guess the Chargers are also never going to pick today. I'm curious to see if you were going to take the guy I was about to take. It's number 23, isn't it? My fault.
So they're just jumping up one spot. I guess they got their eyes on somebody.
They're jumping up one spot. I
saw
didn't
the
even start
Cowboys.
the clock because I knew he was going that fast.
I saw the Cowboys were linked to getting back Ezekiel Elliott. I think they need some help there. They just signed Royce Freeman, but we'll see if they go back to their old boy.
Brent, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so obviously the Cowboys kind of struggling on the offensive line department, especially with Tyron Smith leaving to the Jets, Zach Martin, another year older. I think the Cowboys would gladly trade up if Olu Fashanu was falling in the draft, and I think they do it here. Olu Fashanu, offensive tackle, Penn State. Honestly, like Brett was saying, very high early on in the process. For whatever reason, he's been falling in recent drafts, but I think he's a top 3 offensive tackle in this draft, and I think the Cowboys would be thrilled to select him here.
Yeah.
I feel like the Cowboys are known for always having a good line, so I think this just bolsters their squad again, and
Yeah,
we'll see what it's going to look like for Dak going forward if he's going to be there long term. I saw this could be potentially a draft where, like we were talking about earlier, where they draft a guy that's maybe not fully proven on all of his skills and kind of learns under Dak. Maybe like a Spencer Rattler, maybe even somebody lower than that, kind of gets the ropes of the NFL and figures it out that way. So we'll see what the Cowboys draft looks like this year.
and I keep forgetting that they traded for Trey Lance as well. I just totally disregard that he's
I forgot
a
about
backup for them.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I think they traded a pretty high pick for him. It was like a third,
Yeah.
more than I thought he would go for. So that could be interesting as well. Maybe they'll see if there's any untapped potential there.
What was that deal? For a 4th rounder.
Third rounder.
Third?
Yep. Well, guys, it took many trades. It took from moving from number 5. It took a lot of things to get to the Los Angeles Chargers pick today. Moving back several times. But we're going to go ahead and take our pick here. Originally, here's what I got. All right, at number 24, the Los Angeles Chargers. Surprised this guy is actually still on the board. We're going to take Brian Thomas Jr., the wide receiver out of LSU. Need a big weapon after losing Keenan Allen and Mike Williams this offseason. I think this is a great start for the Chargers to maybe help out Quentin Johnston a little bit, who is not a wide receiver 1 right now. But other than that, I think this is a great pick for them. I'm excited for it. And looks like I'm on the clock again with the Packers if you guys want to go ahead and run through it.
Yeah, I just want to say that, honestly, I think the Chargers are probably one of the most wide receiver needy teams in the entire league right now, especially losing Keenan Allen and Mike Williams in the same offseason. So the fact that Brian Thomas fell this far would be huge if the Chargers did decide to trade back as far as they have. So I think Brian Thomas would be a great pick for them.
Oh, boy.
Wheeling and dealing.
So many trades.
Over or under the amount of trades that have happened in this podcast tomorrow night?
I go under. If this trade goes through, especially.
I was gonna say, I'm thinking if I had to put a number on it, if I had to put a guess, I'm thinking a solid 4 trades tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that Ayuk Steelers trade just makes so much sense. I love
It
that a
does.
lot. I also think T. Higgins is going to get moved somewhere.
Yeah.
Those two, I think, are two wide receivers that are pretty much guaranteed to happen.
I do think one of either or maybe both the Vikings and Giants
Mm-hmm.
will probably trade up to try to get a quarterback.
Yeah, I
think
agree
that
with
will
that.
happen.
All right, guys. The Green Bay Packers are actually trading back. We just received a call from Glendale. Call from the Arizona Cardinals. They are looking to trade up here at 25 with the Green Bay Packers. So I will reset the clock here. The Arizona Cardinals are now holding the 25th pick on the clock and have given us a swap of first-round picks at number 27, as well as their number 66 overall third-round selection this year. So this draft is crazy.
If there's this many trades tomorrow, it should be a fun night.
Yeah,
If there were this many trades, I think I'd lose my mind.
I'm hoping to see some madness. There usually is.
There's this many trades, the draft would go to 2 a.m.
Yeah, probably. Because that clock restarts.
Mm-hmm.
Does the clock actually restart?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. Doesn't it?
I'm not sure if it does.
Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully we see some trades.
I think it has to because there's so many like trades that are like last minute on the pick clock.
On the clock. Pick is in. Ooh. All right, Brett, I'm ready for you.
Okay, here we go. Cardinals, like I said, they had a lot to address. So this is where they move up. The cornerback position was something that was falling off the board. So this is their chance to move up and get their guy. So with the 25th overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals are going to select Nate Wiggins, cornerback out of Clemson. It's kind of a toss-up between Cooper DeJean and Nate Wiggins, but I feel like Nate Wiggins will bring just his long frame and be able to kind of help the Cardinals in a position that they've been looking for a while. Their secondary is only going to be carried by Budda Baker with them sending away Isaiah Simmons after last year. So this is their chance to solidify that position. They're set on one side with their signing of Sean Murphy-Bunting, and this is where they can solidify their defensive backs for this season and really have a guy that they can develop under Jonathan Gagnon, who is a defensive specialist.
I love it. Braden, finally, the Philadelphia Eagles on the clock.
Yes, they are.
I'm going to go through and look at the movements and picks and be like, wasn't the draft 13 different picks? Oh, hi, Bandit. Hey, bud. All right. I am no longer running the keyboard, so if the picks are wrong, it's not on me. I have this exact player coming to Philadelphia. It just makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
It just makes sense. All right, Braden, hit me with it.
Yeah, so the Eagles need corner desperately, and they were in a similar situation as Arizona. They were in between Nate Wiggins and Cooper DeJean. They figured they could trade down from 22 and still land one of them, which they do. They're going to take Cooper DeJean out of Iowa here.
I love the pick, and I think this is something that they could do.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like a gritty guy. Someone I would want to date my daughter personally. Just outstanding gentleman.
He would also play on the team.
Yeah, he would. He'd be a
Was
starter.
that Rashad Mendenhall who had that whole talk?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
Mhm.
That time was crazy on Twitter, dude, of everybody making the lineups. I'm like, that would stop. Oh, Green Bay. Let's see.
I thought this was Green Bay's chance to partner up their Iowa boys on defense with taking Lucas Van Ness last year, but Cooper DeJean is off the board, off to the Eagles. Like you said, it just makes sense. I feel like that's where they need. I know they got Gardner Johnson back from the Lions, but they still have a good defensive back room with Darius Slay and James Bradbury. James Bradbury is getting up there in age, a little bit on the older side. So this is where I think Cooper DeJean really steps in there, learns from veteran leaders, and makes his name for the Eagles.
Yeah, James Bradbury hasn't been the same since the hold in the Super Bowl. He just went completely downhill. So yeah, we need a replacement.
Mm-hmm.
What about Darius Slay?
He's still got some gas in the tank. He's still got some gas.
Okay. He struggled a little bit last year as well, right?
He did.
But he was also injured.
He had some ticky-tacky sort of thing that he was dealing with.
Okay.
All right, boys, I got it. With the number 27 overall pick, the Green Bay Packers are going to select Darius Robinson, edge from Missouri. I think he's an absolute monster of a piece to add into their front line on the defensive side. They need somebody to get in quick off the edge. They haven't had a defensive star besides Jair Alexander in a pretty long time. I think it's time for maybe to start developing this defense as the offense is very young and is starting to finally click together. I'm excited about what this pick can do, and I think this is, again, another opportunity for the Packers to possibly even trade back out of the first round. But today they're going to make their selection. A team that has not moved yet today, the Buffalo Bills, and I think everybody in America knows where this team is going. Josh Allen traded.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier with the Chargers being one of the most wide receiver needing teams in the league. The Bills are right up there with them. They lost Gabe Davis. They lost Stephon Diggs. Their leading receiver right now is Khalil Shakir, which isn't bad. Khalil Shakir's been good. But, yeah, they need a wideout.
Curtis Samuel, don't forget.
Right. They picked him up.
Sneaky ad.
Yeah.
I love it. They knew what they wanted.
No doubt.
All right, let's hear it.
With the 28th pick in the NFL draft, the Buffalo Bills are selecting Xavier Worthy, wide receiver out of Texas. This is another chance for a Texas guy to go in the first round. I think, like you were saying, Braden, it just made sense with them offloading Stephon Diggs this offseason. I think this is where they need to go, and I don't really see a whole lot of movement from the Bills. Like, this is what they're going for, so really who kind of ever falls to them is going to be who they take, whether it's one of the Texas boys, Brian Thomas. So I think they'll be happy with whoever they get. Be interesting. I know Josh Allen's been used to having Stephon Diggs a little bit better of a route runner and a little bit bigger of a build versus Xavier Worthy will be more quickness, create some space between those defenders. But we'll see how it goes for Josh Allen, building a relationship with a new wide receiver.
Perfect. With that, Los Angeles Chargers are going on the clock here down to our final 4 picks. We'll see if we get any last-minute trades in here as well. I'm going to go ahead and keep going, though.
What position does Slater play? He's a tackle, right?
Yeah.
Is he right tackle or left tackle?
I think he's their left tackle. I think. I might be wrong on that.
No, you're right. I just pulled it up.
He's really good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I could see the Chargers going Joe Alt early in the draft as well, but we'll have to see. If they do that, they'd have to convert him to right tackle, which I don't think it's going to be as huge of an issue as some of these analysts might be making it out to be. I think Joe Alt has the talent to do it, and he was a tight end just a couple years ago. So I think he can easily convert to right tackle.
Pick is in over here with the Chargers. We're going to go ahead. Got our wide receiver. Second biggest need is at corner. Unfortunately, missed out on some of the top, but still a first-round prospect. We're going to take Ennis Rakestraw Jr., the cornerback out of Missouri. Great speed, great man press. Definitely somebody we're looking on the opposite side of the ball as some of our corners and safeties are getting a bit older there in Los Angeles. So super excited for the capabilities of him and happy to actually get some draft picks for this team and a bucket load of picks as well for the Chargers. I think we had a good day today. With that, the number 30 overall pick, the Baltimore Ravens are on the clock.
This is the chance for the Ravens to really solidify their offensive line with having Derrick Henry. They're going to need some guys that can get out there and block. So we'll see what the Ravens do here.
Yeah, I really liked that addition for the Ravens this offseason. Derrick Henry, I think the contract was actually in a really good spot too, based on the other running backs that went a lot higher in the market. I think the Ravens are going to be huge Super Bowl contenders this year. That's probably my early favorite to win the Super Bowl, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see if Lamar Jackson can actually make it happen.
Yep.
That doesn't sound fair on Madden. Lamar and Derrick Henry on the same team.
It's ridiculous.
Well, then we get to see it in real life, but
I can't wait to see that. That's going to be a sight.
Braden, what do we got for the Ravens?
Yeah, Brett, you hit it right on the head. They're going to shore up that offensive line to protect Derrick Henry. It's going to be Amarius Mims, tackle out of Georgia. He's been really good. He's been projected end of the first round. I've even seen him as early as like 15 or 16. So he's a great talent that will protect Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson and shore up that read option.
I think there's a lot of good guys at the end of the draft or end of the first round for that tackle position. We got Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma. You got Jaden Morgan out of Arizona. Even on the interior side, you got Jackson Powers Johnson.
Graham Barton hasn't gone yet. He's a really good center.
Yeah. So we'll see what the end of the draft looks like. I feel like that's where we see a lot of these big guys going. Once one goes, I think they're all going to start falling. So
yeah, and for the Ravens, for me, it was between Mims and Guyton, like you said. Morgan's also up there. They don't really need the interior as much as the outside, so that's why we went with Mims. But yeah, those are definitely a lot of talented guys on the offensive line.
Got the 49ers up again here.
It's scary.
It is kind of scary. I'm intrigued. Pick is in already. Whew. Brett, go ahead.
Like we discussed earlier, I think this is the chance where 49ers reload in the wide receiver position and then address their other need. Trent Williams getting up there in age, so this is where they take their tackle. With the 31st overall pick, San Francisco 49ers are going to select Jordan Morgan, offensive tackle out of Arizona. I think he just kind of fits their build. He's got the ability to learn under Trent Williams and just kind of grow his game. I think he really fits the need of the 49ers there, his position with his blocking skills. He'll be able to set the pocket for Brock Purdy to just dump it off to all of his guys still and get back to the Super Bowl. So I think this is the route that they go. They have options like we were saying, but I think Jordan Morgan's their guy for this pick here.
I think it's definitely helpful for the 49ers as we go to our final pick. The Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champions. I'll be back.
Oh no, can't end it with a sticking pick.
Is this where the Carolina Panthers move up?
I could definitely see that. Just seemed very antsy to jump in. Moving up one pick.
Joe wants to be in that first round with those Carolina Panthers. What do the Carolina Panthers need? Just everything except the quarterback? That's funny. I guess they did get Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, that's true. That was a good underrated move for them. I think Deontay Johnson, though a little bit older, he's always been reliable. So that'll be a nice piece to add for them and for Bryce Young.
I think they need to protect Bryce Young first. I feel like that's what really didn't get him to develop the way. I mean, it didn't help that his coach was gone halfway through the year. But
yeah.
Oh, yep. The trade is out there. Trade alert. Bye-bye, Kansas City.
Oh, no.
I feel like this is still a spot where the Chiefs are going to be all right, whether they select the position they need. And I think they was wide receiver or they trade down. I think we were talking about it. There's still plenty of guys that kind of carry into that second round that still have the skill set, whether it's you're looking at Keon Coleman, Ladd McConkey. I think Brendan Rice is one guy that will be a little bit down there that's got some skill. So it'll be interesting to see what the Chiefs. I think that's the big need, but I don't hate that they're trading down here with both those Texas guys being out of there. I think that might be where they have their focus, and if something like that doesn't open up, then they're happy trading down. Brett Veach is a mastermind with the deals he can make. So.
We knew it. We called it.
So I've been sitting here patient all day, and I think this is something Dan Morgan does. As he says, "Sonny, I need you to make a splash," to his head coach and as him as the GM. They have their eyes on this guy. If he is there, they know the Chiefs are going with this position. They're not going to stick around and wait. They're going to offer it. We're trading our number 33 overall pick, so first pick tomorrow, as well as a fourth rounder in exchange for this pick today. This is the guy that the Carolina Panthers want. It's who they're going to pick. Expect them to trade with the Chiefs, Niners, Ravens if Brandon Ayuk is not dealt. If the Chiefs are going to pick a wide receiver, in my opinion, and we're not going to sit around and watch Xavier Legette, wide receiver from South Carolina, leave. So we're gonna jump in here, get our guy, take a seat back as we got picking about 7 picks after that tomorrow, and we're happy with what we got here.
Yeah, just a little like what I was going through in my mind as I was making that trade. I was looking at the receivers and I saw that there were really good ones still available. So moving down one spot wasn't too bad for the Chiefs. And honestly, my pick out of like this group of guys personally is Ricky Pearsall. He makes circus catches like crazy, elusive speed, great out of the slot. I think that would be a huge addition for the Chiefs. So if we were to do a bonus pick here, number 33, that's what I would choose for the Chiefs.
And now we're going to do the whole second round. So buckle up, everybody.
Let's do it.
Guys, tomorrow is draft day.
Let's go.
And it's going to be crazier than it was on here, because if you remember from last year, there was no person in America that picked the Houston Texans trading up to number 3.
That's true.
So buckle up, buddy, because anything is possible.
I think when that trade happened last year, I think everyone thought the Cardinals were set, and then it ended up working out for the Texans and sending the Cardinals late into this first round. So I think it evens out from the D-Hop trade. We fleeced them a couple of years ago. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Well, guys, that's all I got here. The draft is tomorrow night, 8:00 Eastern, 7 times Central for you Oklahoma folks. Brett, huge round of applause for you and jumping on here late and joining with us. Happy to have first-time guests on the show anytime. I'm sure you're welcome back whenever.
I appreciate it. It was fun for sure, just getting to talk about football and thinking of some fun ideas of what tomorrow's going to look like, because you never know what's going to happen. So appreciate you guys including me on tonight, and we'll see what happens tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens tomorrow night. My name's Joe Wagner, Brent Allegra, Braden Wilkins, and Brett Farrar checking out here from the Sports Outlet Show. I know it's almost 11 p.m. over there on the East Coast, so appreciate you boys staying up with us all night. We'll see you guys next time. Who knows what the Sports Outlet Show has, and expect Devontae Adams to be traded. That's what we learned today.
To the Browns.
To the Browns.
The Browns.
All right, well, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out with us. That's it from the Sports Outlet Show tonight. Happy draft day.